There comes a moment in life when you have to ask yourself, are you moving forward because of your own strength, or are you waiting for someone else to pull you up? Too many people live with an open hand, expecting favors, expecting handouts, expecting the world to see their struggles and fix them. But life doesn't work that way. If you spend your days waiting on favors, you will spend your life waiting. Because here's the truth, nobody owes you anything. Nobody is sitting around thinking about what they can do for you. And the people you expect to come through for you, the ones you've helped, the ones you've supported, they don't always return the favor. That's a hard pill to swallow, but it's one you need to understand if you want to be free. How many times have you done something for someone and deep down you hoped, no, you expected that they would do the same for you? That when your time of need came, they would step in, lift you up, open that door. And when they didn't, it left you hurt, disappointed, maybe even angry. But let me tell you, expecting a favor will leave you in chains. It ties your success, your happiness, your future to somebody else's willingness to give. And that is a dangerous place to be. The greatest power you will ever have is knowing that you don't need a favor. You need faith, you need discipline, you need determination. Because when you stand on your own, when you push through without waiting on someone else to validate you, to approve you, to do something for you, that's when you step into your true strength. Now, that doesn't mean you won't get help along the way. There will be people who see your effort, people who recognize your work, people who are divinely placed in your life to lift you up. But those blessings come when you are already moving, already working, already believing. They don't come when you sit and wait. They don't come when you feel entitled to them. You have to stop expecting a favor and start expecting greatness from yourself. Because when you do, you will see doors open that no person could have ever unlocked for you. You will rise in ways that no favor could have ever lifted you. And most of all, you will live in a power that is not borrowed, not begged for, but earned. So today, release the expectation that someone else will come and save you. You were never meant to be saved by people. You were meant to rise on your own with faith, with work, and with the undeniable strength that has always been inside of you. Stop expecting others to rescue you. Your success is in your own hands. Too many people are waiting for someone to come and change their lives, to offer them an opportunity, to give them a break, to pull them out of their struggle. They sit back hoping that a friend, a family member, a mentor, or even a stranger will step in and do the work for them. They believe that because they've suffered, because they've struggled, because they've been through so much, someone should come along and make things easier. But life does not work that way. No one is coming to save you. No one is responsible for your breakthrough but you. If you spend your time waiting for a rescue, you will waste years of your life sitting in the same place, feeling stuck, feeling frustrated, feeling like the world has forgotten you. But the world hasn't forgotten you. The world is waiting on you to stand up and take responsibility for your own journey. Success is not handed out like a gift. It is not given to those who wait patiently, hoping that someday, somehow, things will just fall into place. Success is claimed. It is taken. It is built. The people who succeed are the ones who decide that no matter what obstacles stand in their way, no matter who refuses to help, no matter how many times they have to start over, they will not stop until they reach their goal. They understand that waiting for someone to rescue them is a losing game. They understand that their life, their dreams, their purpose are their responsibility, and they act accordingly. They wake up every day with the mindset that no one is going to hand them anything, so they go out and create it for themselves. There are people who spend years waiting for someone to notice them, to recognize their potential, to offer them an opportunity. They wait for the perfect mentor, the perfect investor, the perfect partner, the perfect situation to come along and change everything. But the truth is, opportunities don't always come knocking. Sometimes you have to knock down the door yourself. Sometimes you have to create your own path, even when nobody else believes in you. Sometimes you have to believe in yourself so much that you become your own rescuer, your own savior, your own way out of whatever situation you're in. Because the moment you stop expecting others to rescue you, you take back your power. You stop feeling like a victim. You stop feeling helpless. And you start to realize that everything you need is already inside of you. Look at the people who have made it. The ones who have built something from nothing, the ones who have overcome the odds, the ones who have turned their pain into power. They didn't get there by waiting for someone to come and lift them up. They didn't sit around expecting a favor, expecting someone to do the work for them, expecting the world to feel sorry for them. No, they made a decision to work harder than anyone else. A decision to push past every single rejection, every single disappointment, every single setback, because they understood one thing: their success was in their own hands. They didn't wait to be chosen, they chose themselves. They didn't wait for permission, they gave themselves permission. And that is the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck. The moment you realize that your success is up to you is the moment you become unstoppable. Because when you no longer expect a handout, when you no longer expect a shortcut, when you no longer expect someone to come and make things easy, you start operating at a different level. You stop making excuses, you stop blaming other people, you stop feeling sorry for yourself. And instead you take action. You wake up every morning knowing that it's on you to make things happen. You stop looking around for help and start looking within for strength. You stop waiting for the right time and start making the time you have right now work for you. Because the truth is, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the decision to take responsibility for it. Too many people stay stuck because they are waiting for conditions to be perfect. They tell themselves, I'll start when I have more money. I'll take action when someone helps me. I'll go for it when I have support. But what if the help never comes? What if no one steps in? What if you spend your whole life waiting and nothing changes? Are you willing to let your dreams slip away just because you expected someone else to make it easier? Are you willing to settle for a life that is less than what you deserve just because you thought someone else was supposed to open the door for you? The most successful people in the world didn't wait for help. They didn't wait for permission. They took what they had and made it work. They found a way when there was no way. They bet on themselves when no one else would. And because of that, they created a life that most people only dream about. Your success is not in the hands of your boss, your parents, your friends, or your circumstances. It is in your hands. It always has been. The moment you understand that is the moment everything changes. Because when you take full responsibility for your life, you take full control over what happens next. You stop feeling powerless. You stop feeling at the mercy of other people's decisions. You stop waiting and start creating. You stop hoping for a break and start making one. You stop expecting others to do for you what you should be doing for yourself. And when you do that, when you truly commit to your own success, there is nothing that can stop you. People will always have reasons why they can't help you. They will always have excuses. They will always be too busy, too distracted, too focused on their own lives to worry about yours. And that is not their fault. That is not something to be bitter about. That is just the way life is. Everybody is fighting their own battles. Everybody has their own responsibilities, their own goals, their own struggles. And the people who make it are the ones who realize that they can't afford to sit around waiting. They can't afford to depend on someone else's kindness. They can't afford to put their dreams in someone else's hands. Because when you do that, you give away your power. When you expect others to come through for you, you give them control over your future. And that is a dangerous position to be in. If you want to be successful, if you want to change your life, if you want to reach your highest potential, you have to take full ownership of your journey. There will be days when you feel like giving up. There will be moments when you wish someone would step in and make things easier. There will be times when you look around and wonder why no one is helping, why no one is supporting you, why no one sees how hard you're working. But in those moments, you have to remember, your success is not dependent on favors. Your success is not dependent on who notices you. Your success is dependent on your willingness to keep going, to keep pushing, to keep showing up for yourself, even when no one else does. Because the day will come when all of that effort pays off, when all of that work turns into results, when everything you've been building finally comes together. But that day will only come if you decide right now that you will not wait for someone to save you. You will save yourself. You will take your power back. You will take your future into your own hands. And you will never again expect someone else to do for you what you are more than capable of doing for yourself. The people you help won't always return the favor, and that's okay. It's a hard truth to accept, but it's one that will free you from disappointment, from resentment, from the weight of expecting something that may never come. You give, you show up, you sacrifice, you pour into people. And deep down, you assume that when your time of need comes, they will be there for you the way you were there for them. But life doesn't always work that way. You will learn that just because you were kind doesn't mean kindness will be returned. Just because you were generous doesn't mean generosity will be reciprocated. Just because you supported someone's dreams doesn't mean they will support yours. And if you are not careful, that realization can make you bitter. It can make you question why you even bother helping people in the first place. It can make you close your heart and start keeping score, measuring every act of kindness against what you get in return. But that is no way to live. The moment you start expecting people to repay you, you put yourself in a position to be disappointed. Because human nature is unpredictable. People are forgetful. People are busy. People are wrapped up in their own lives, their own struggles, their own battles. And sometimes they don't even realize how much you've done for them. You will find yourself thinking about all the times you were there when they needed you. All the times you showed up, answered the call, gave what you had, even when it was inconvenient. And when your moment of need comes and they are nowhere to be found, it will sting. It will feel like betrayal. It will feel like they took you for granted. But before you allow that feeling to consume you, before you let it harden your heart, you must understand something. Help should never be given with expectation. When you help someone, it should come from a place of pure intention, from a place of love, from a place of knowing that you are doing it because it is who you are, not because you want something in return. That is what real giving looks like. Real giving does not keep score. Real giving does not say, I did this for you, now you owe me. Real giving does not hold resentment when the favor is not returned. And that is a lesson that will bring you peace. If you spend your life expecting people to match your effort, expecting people to treat you the way you treat them, expecting the same level of energy, support, and commitment that you give, you will live in a constant state of frustration. Because the truth is, people are not always going to show up for you the way you showed up for them. And that doesn't mean they don't care. That doesn't mean they are bad people. It just means that life moves differently for everyone. What you prioritize might not be what they prioritize. What you remember might not be what they remember. What feels like a big deal to you might not even cross their mind. And if you're not careful, you will allow unmet expectations to turn into resentment, and that resentment will steal your joy. Think about how many people have walked away from relationships, friendships, connections, not because something terrible happened, but because they felt unappreciated, because they felt like they gave more than they received, because they felt like their kindness wasn't reciprocated. And while it is important to be valued, while it is necessary to surround yourself with people who uplift and support you, it is also important to recognize that not everyone expresses gratitude in the same way. Some people may not know how to say thank you. Some people may not realize how much of a difference you made in their lives until years later. Some people may be dealing with their own struggles, so consumed by their own challenges that they don't have the capacity to pour back into you. And if you can understand that, if you can free yourself from the expectation of being repaid, you will live with so much more peace. When you do something good, do it because it is who you are, not because you are keeping a record, not because you are waiting for the day someone returns the favor, but because it is in your nature to give. And understand that not every seed you plant will grow in front of you. Some people will benefit from your kindness and never acknowledge it. Some people will take what you've given and move on without a second thought. But that should not change you. That should not make you stop being a good person. That should not make you stop giving. Because your kindness is a reflection of you, not of them. How people respond to it is out of your control. But what is in your control is the way you choose to continue showing up in the world. You will find that when you release the expectation of being repaid, you actually open yourself up to unexpected blessings. What you give out into the world may not always come back from the people you gave it to, but it will come back. It may not be in the way you imagine, but it will come when you need it most. A door will open. An opportunity will present itself. A stranger will help you in a way you never saw coming. Because that's how life works. The goodness you put out does not go unnoticed. The love, the support, the selflessness, it is never wasted. But it is also not always returned in the way you expect. And when you understand that, you stop keeping track. You stop measuring what you give against what you receive. You stop looking at people as debtors who owe you for your kindness, and instead, you start giving freely, loving freely, helping freely, with no strings attached. It is a difficult lesson to learn, but it is a necessary one. Because the reality is, if you help people with the expectation of being repaid, you are not really helping them. You are making a transaction. And real kindness, real generosity, real love is not transactional. It does not say, I did this for you, now do this for me. It does not look for repayment. It does not hold resentment. It does not make you a victim when people don't reciprocate. It simply gives, knowing that the reward is not in the return, but in the act itself. There will be moments when you need help, and the people you thought would be there won't show up, and that will hurt. But in that moment, you have a choice. You can let it make you bitter, or you can let it make you wiser. You can let it close your heart, or you can let it strengthen your understanding of people. You can let it make you feel unappreciated, or you can remind yourself that you never gave to be appreciated in the first place. You gave because that's who you are. And if you hold on to that, if you stay true to yourself despite the disappointments, you will never lose. Because at the end of the day, kindness is not about what you get in return. It is about the impact you make. It is about knowing that you have been the light in someone's life, whether they acknowledge it or not. It is about being proud of the person you are, regardless of how others respond. And when you operate from that mindset, when you give without expectation, when you help without needing validation, you free yourself from the burden of disappointment. You free yourself from resentment. You free yourself from the need to be repaid. And in doing so, you unlock a level of peace, of fulfillment, of joy, that no amount of returned favors could ever give you. True power comes from faith, discipline, and determination, not favors. Too many people believe that their success is dependent on someone else's approval, someone else's connection, someone else's willingness to open a door for them. They wait for the right person to notice them, the right opportunity to be handed to them, the right moment when someone steps in and makes everything easier. But the truth is, real success does not come from waiting on a favor. It comes from the mindset you cultivate, the work you put in, the resilience you build when no one is looking. It comes from knowing that no matter who does or does not support you, you will keep moving forward. It comes from understanding that the only way to create the life you want is through faith, discipline, and determination. Faith is what keeps you going when you can't see the results yet. It is what pushes you to keep working when nothing seems to be changing. It is what allows you to believe in something greater than your current circumstances. Without faith, doubt will take over. Fear will paralyze you. You will start questioning whether your dreams are even possible, whether you have what it takes, whether it's worth continuing. But faith silences those doubts. Faith reminds you that even when things are not happening on your timeline, they are still happening. That even when the road is hard, you are still making progress. That even when people overlook you, you are still worthy. Faith allows you to move with confidence even in uncertainty. It allows you to trust that every setback is setting you up for something greater. It allows you to stand firm in your vision even when no one else sees it yet. Because before anything manifests in your life, you must believe in it first. Before success becomes your reality, it has to exist in your mind. And faith is what turns what seems impossible into something inevitable. Discipline is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. It is not about motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you will feel inspired and some days you won't. Some days you will wake up ready to take on the world and some days you will want to give up. But discipline is what keeps you consistent even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what makes you get up early when you'd rather sleep in. It is what makes you keep going when you don't see immediate results. It is what pushes you to do the work day after day, even when no one is clapping for you, even when no one is watching, even when it seems like nothing is happening. Discipline is the foundation of greatness. It is the difference between those who start something and those who finish. It is the difference between those who talk about success and those who actually achieve it. Because talent alone is not enough. Hard work alone is not enough. You must be willing to commit to show up for yourself every single day, to build habits that align with your goals. And that is something no favor can replace. No connection, no shortcut, no opportunity can substitute for the discipline required to sustain success. Because even if someone hands you an opportunity, if you are not disciplined enough to maintain it, you will lose it. True power is built through consistency, through showing up even when it's hard, through doing what needs to be done whether you feel like it or not. Determination is what makes you unstoppable. It is what keeps you moving when everything in you wants to quit. It is what gives you the strength to keep going after failure, after rejection, after disappointment. Without determination, you will give up too soon. You will let obstacles discourage you. You will allow setbacks to convince you that success is not meant for you. But determination means that no matter how many times you fall, you get back up. No matter how many times people say no, you keep pushing. No matter how many doors close, you knock on another one. Determination is what makes you refuse to settle. It is what gives you the courage to keep going when the road gets rough. It is what allows you to see past temporary struggles and focus on the bigger picture. People who rely on favors may get a temporary boost, but people who have determination create lasting success. Because when you are determined, nothing can break you. Nothing can shake your belief in yourself. Nothing can make you stop pursuing what you know is meant for you. Too many people spend their lives looking for an easy way out. They think that if they just knew the right person, if they just got the right opportunity, if someone would just do them a favor, everything would fall into place. But that is not how real success works. Favors may open doors, but they don't guarantee anything. They don't build resilience. They don't teach you how to handle pressure. They don't develop the mindset required to sustain success. Because at some point you will face challenges that no favor can fix. You will have to rely on your own strength, your own skills, your own ability to navigate difficulties. And if you have not built that foundation, you will crumble. That is why true power comes from within. It comes from the faith that keeps you believing, the discipline that keeps you working, and the determination that keeps you fighting. It is not something that can be given to you. It is something that must be developed, something that must be earned, something that must be built through effort and persistence. There is a difference between hoping for a favor and knowing your worth. Too often, we place our value in the hands of others. We wait for validation. We seek approval, and we hope that someone will see our potential and give us the chance we deserve. But true power lies not in hoping for others to recognize your worth, but in recognizing it for yourself. When you begin to know your worth, you stop waiting for favors, and you start creating opportunities for yourself. You stop looking to others to define your value, and you take full ownership of your journey. The truth is, no one can give you your worth. It is something that you must declare for yourself. It is something that you must believe in even when others don't. It is something that must come from within, not from external sources. Knowing your worth means understanding that you are deserving of success, that you are capable of achieving your goals, and that you have something valuable to offer. It means knowing that you don't need anyone's permission to step into your greatness. You don't need anyone's approval to pursue your dreams. You don't need anyone's validation to move forward. When you know your worth, you stop second-guessing yourself. You stop seeking approval from others. You stop waiting for someone to come along and tell you that you are ready. You trust that you are already enough. You trust that you have everything within you to create the life you want. The moment you realize your worth, you stop chasing after favors. You stop hoping that someone will hand you an opportunity or give you the break you think you need. Instead, you start seeking out your own opportunities. You start taking risks. You start putting yourself in situations that challenge you to grow. You stop waiting for someone to give you permission, and you start giving yourself permission to succeed. You begin to trust that you are capable of creating your own path. There is so much power in knowing your worth because it removes the need for external validation. When you are waiting for others to validate you, you are giving away your power. You are allowing others to define you. But when you recognize your worth, you reclaim that power. You stop looking to others for affirmation, and you start looking within. You begin to understand that no one can make you feel small unless you allow them to. You begin to recognize that your worth is not tied to what others think of you, but to what you believe about yourself. Knowing your worth also means setting boundaries. It means knowing what you will and won't tolerate. It means understanding that you do not have to accept less than you deserve. When you know your worth, you are able to say no to people and situations that drain your energy or hold you back. You no longer feel the need to appease others or seek their approval. You know that you are worthy of respect, and you are not willing to settle for anything less. As you start to know your worth, you will also start to recognize that others' opinions no longer hold the same weight. You will stop seeking approval from people who don't have your best interests at heart. You will stop allowing the negativity of others to affect your sense of self. You will no longer allow the judgment of others to derail your dreams. Knowing your worth means knowing that you don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to convince anyone that you are worthy. You simply need to believe it for yourself. Once you truly know your worth, you will stop relying on favors from others to feel validated or secure. You will no longer wait for someone else to create opportunities for you. You will create those opportunities yourself. You will no longer rely on others to give you permission to succeed. You will give yourself permission. You will stop looking for handouts and start looking for ways to add value. You will stop waiting for someone to lift you up, and you will start lifting yourself up. People who know their worth are not afraid to ask for what they want. They do not shy away from opportunities because they fear rejection. They do not hesitate to take risks because they fear failure. They understand that their value is not determined by the outcome, but by their ability to take action. When you know your worth, you become fearless in your pursuit of your dreams. You stop holding yourself back. You stop playing small. You step into your power, knowing that you deserve everything that is meant for you. The process of discovering your worth may not always be easy. It may require you to confront your fears, to let go of limiting beliefs, to heal from past wounds. But it is a process that is well worth the effort. As you begin to recognize your value, you will notice that the world starts to reflect it back to you. Opportunities will start to appear. Doors will start to open. People will start to respect you. You will start to attract the right energy, the right connections, and the right circumstances, because when you know your worth, you align yourself with the energy of success. When you stop waiting for favors and start recognizing your worth, you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. You stop believing that opportunities are limited or that success is reserved for a select few. Instead, you begin to believe that there is more than enough for everyone. You begin to believe that there is always a way to succeed and that you are worthy of finding that way. Knowing your worth also means trusting your intuition. It means listening to that inner voice that tells you when something is right for you, when something is aligned with your purpose, when an opportunity is worth pursuing. When you know your worth, you trust that you are capable of making the right decisions. You trust that you have the knowledge, the wisdom, and the discernment to navigate your path. You no longer look to others for direction because you know that you have everything you need inside of you. When you begin to know your worth, you will find that your relationships, both personal and professional, will start to shift. You will no longer tolerate toxic relationships or situations that do not serve your highest good. You will attract people who value you, who respect you, and who support you in your journey. You will no longer settle for relationships that drain you or hold you back. You will surround yourself with people who uplift you, who inspire you, and who push you to be the best version of yourself. Stop waiting for someone else to recognize your potential. It allows you to stop hoping for a favor and start creating your own opportunities. It allows you to step into your power and take control of your destiny. When you know your worth, you no longer need anyone's permission to be great. You no longer need anyone's validation to succeed. You no longer need anyone's approval to live the life you deserve. You simply need to trust in yourself, believe in your abilities, and take action. There is a tremendous strength in being willing to stand in your own power, especially when it comes to understanding that nothing is owed to you. Too often people wait for a favor, an opportunity, or a chance to be handed to them, but the truth is you create your own path by the decisions you make, the actions you take, and the unwavering belief in your own potential. Waiting for someone to extend a hand to give you something you feel you deserve can be paralyzing. But when you stop waiting, when you stop depending on others for your success, you discover a new level of self-empowerment. You realize that you have everything within you to make things happen. You are not helpless, waiting for a favor. You are capable, ready to take on the world on your own terms. The moment you stop looking for others to give you a handout is the moment you take full ownership of your life. There is freedom in knowing that you are responsible for your own future, that the trajectory of your success does not rely on the whims or approval of others. This is where true power lies, in the understanding that you are the creator of your own opportunities. It's in realizing that if you wait for others to create those opportunities, you will only find yourself stuck in a cycle of dependence. Instead of looking outward, you begin to look inward to develop the skills, the mindset, and the strategies that will move you forward. You stop being a passive recipient of life's circumstances and start being the active creator of your reality. In the beginning, this shift might feel uncomfortable because it requires you to let go of the illusion that someone else can make things happen for you. You may have been raised to believe that success is only accessible through connections, through knowing the right people, or through being given an opportunity. But this mindset leaves you powerless. You're essentially handing over the keys to your own life. The moment you realize that you don't need anyone's permission to succeed is the moment you take those keys back. You realize that the doors you want to open are not outside of you, they are within. They exist in the hard work you're willing to put in, the growth you're willing to experience, and the discipline you cultivate. When you stop waiting for someone to give you a favor, you open yourself up to the possibility that everything you need is already within your reach. And all you have to do is take the first step toward it. This transformation requires a mindset shift, one that requires you to stop thinking of life as something that happens to you and start thinking of it as something you actively create. It requires you to stop seeing yourself as someone who is waiting to be given something and start seeing yourself as someone who is capable of building their own path. And once you embrace this mindset, you start seeing every setback as an opportunity to learn and grow. Instead of waiting for others to solve your problems or make things easier for you, you take the initiative to solve them yourself. You stop relying on external validation or favors to feel good enough. Instead, you build your confidence from within, knowing that your worth is not dependent on external circumstances. You are already worthy, already capable, and you already have everything inside of you to make things happen. When you stop waiting for favors, you also stop allowing yourself to become complacent. There's a sense of urgency that comes with realizing that you are the one responsible for your success. You no longer wait for things to fall into place. You actively seek out the ways to make things happen. You don't wait for opportunities to knock on your door. You build your own door. You don't wait for someone to offer you a seat at the table. You pull up your own chair and create your own space. This mindset empowers you to take risks, to stretch yourself beyond what you thought was possible, and to push through the fear and uncertainty that may arise along the way. It forces you to take action, to make decisions that are in alignment with your goals, and to trust that you have what it takes to navigate whatever challenges come your way. True power comes from self-sufficiency. It comes from knowing that you don't need anyone's approval or validation to move forward. You stop waiting for someone to tell you that you're ready, and you start trusting that you are ready right now. You take the reins of your life and move forward with confidence, knowing that you are fully capable of creating the success you desire. And as you move forward, you realize that success is not just about what you achieve, but about who you become in the process. It's about the person you grow into as you take ownership of your life and your destiny. It's about becoming someone who doesn't wait for life to happen, but takes control and creates their own path. When you stop waiting for favors, you also start to recognize the value of persistence. You understand that success is not handed to you, it is earned. It's earned through hard work, dedication, and the willingness to keep going even when things get tough. It's earned through a willingness to fail, to learn, and to get back up again. The people who are most successful in life are not the ones who had everything handed to them. They are the ones who kept showing up when no one was watching, who kept going when it seemed impossible, and who kept believing in themselves even when others didn't. Success is built on persistence, and persistence is something that comes from within. It's something you create for yourself by continuing to push forward, even when the road is difficult. When you stop waiting for favors, you also stop allowing fear to hold you back. Waiting for a favor is rooted in fear, the fear of not being good enough, the fear of rejection, the fear of failure. But when you take control of your destiny, fear no longer dictates your actions. You realize that fear is simply a part of the journey and that it doesn't have to stop you. You push past the fear, knowing that on the other side of it lies growth, success, and a life that you've created for yourself. You understand that fear will never go away, but that it doesn't have to keep you stuck. You learn to move forward in spite of fear, and in doing so, you unlock a new level of strength and courage within yourself, of achieving far more than you ever thought possible.